I met Doc in 1978. We were in the Queens Village Depot, where I had been working for a year, and I purchased my truck in 1978, and I met Doc the same year, 1978. Myself and another guy bought the franchise for Brooklyn in 1988. I then lost that business, and Doc stepped in along with Huckett and bought the business. I like working with Doc. I think he's got the ability to keep the garage running, and we seem to have a very good company here with the dealers at this point. So I'm happy to work with him. I have no problems with him. I think the basic thing is hard work, honesty, and ability to get along with others. And when you have a company at this size, you need to be able to get along with just about everybody in the business, and yet still have the discipline to do what you think is right. So I would encourage any person from the Caribbean and anybody to, if they're interested in getting into business, they can go by the characteristics of what I just explained with Doc. They're hardworking, honest, and I think they'll succeed. I just said, Doc has been successful in the business, and final words are just let him keep doing what he's been doing, and everything should be okay.
We showed you the operations at Mr. Softee. Now it's time to hit the streets. It's a chilly day in East New York, but the folks are still getting their ice cream. So we're going to talk to Shevonne and Latoya, the daughters of Doc Guishard, and they will take us around and probably get me some ice cream on the Mr. Softee. Let's check it out.
I guess growing up in it, I didn't really think of it as anything. It was just my normal. And, back then it was fun, but now that I actually got a chance to drive for myself and sell, I see how much work it is, how much time, it takes away from your family sometimes. I really miss the summers, watching my kids grow up, doing certain things with them. So this is actually going to be my first summer since I started doing it that I'm not going to be driving my truck. So it's a little bit stressful because this is my first baby and I'm giving it to somebody else to take care of for me. But at least this summer I'll get to spend time with my two children. For me, since I also work in the office, the office is where, I think you filmed it before, where the other ice cream trucks come and order and pay for their supplies, pay for their rent and royalty. So I actually have to be down there from 9:30 in the morning. The office closes at 2, so I'll leave the yard at 2, drive to my route, and I don't have a route where you just park and then the customers come to you, because that's usually, at like a shopping mall or a shopping area and stuff like that. So basically, I'm driving and stopping all day, and usually my day ends around 11 p.m.
11?
Yeah, so it's about 7 hours driving and stopping, nonstop.
Wow.
Yes.
And with that, so the families and the children, we're going to see what it's like, but they would hear the Mr. Softee music or something?
Yeah, you put on your bell, they hear you, sometimes they hear you blocks away, and because the bell is so loud, they think that it's on their block, but it might be blocks away. So that's where, having a routine comes into play, because then the customers know that you'll be at their house at a certain time. So even though they might hear the bell, they know, wait, okay, it's not 5 o'clock yet, she's not on my block.
Right.
Yeah, so every day I have a certain route that I follow. And, every once in a while I might mix it up. If I have a special event, then of course, my schedule might be off. But for the most part, this is still school time, so I'll do my schools first. Well, my driver would do the school now since I'm not doing it anymore, but I'll do the schools first. And then whatever blocks I get to do after that, then I'll do them. But since the school still is in session, I might have to end early. Where on the weekends now, I can stay out maybe until like, the 11 o'clock. But, you have to respect bedtime and curfew. So we usually end right now about, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
But what do you serve under the Mr. Softee?
We have soft serve ice cream. We have 2 flavors, vanilla and chocolate. And then we also have it mixed, so it could be vanilla and chocolate swirl. We have ices, like frozen stuff like Tweety Bird, Spider-Man, most of the characters. And then we have also good humor bars, strawberry shortcake, toasted almond, just different things. And then occasionally I might have rum and raisin and grape nut, for my Caribbean customers, so I don't get cursed out. But, we sell everything. We'll have sundaes, banana boats, milkshakes. We also do slushies, which are like, a frozen icy drink. And me, myself, I have like 11 flavors because my customers love different flavors. Right. And so do I, because I also drink them as well. And my dad has definitely been influential in me pursuing entrepreneurship because not only, I started with the truck, but I also do, like party planning and catering and stuff like that. So it gave me a type of, I guess, just that extra push, because I saw him start off with 1 ice cream truck, and then he had 3, and then I saw him, working in the summers doing this, but then also in the winter time, him and his friend Huckett, I don't know, Huckett Hanley, they'll be building ice cream trucks. They'll build ice cream trucks in our driveway, and then Daddy might rent a space and build ice cream trucks there. So, it went from having 1, 2, 3 to 5 to 7, and now it's a whole yard of, I think, 90-something trucks. So it definitely makes you feel proud, and just like, wow, like I look at Daddy as, he's a superhero to me, because he definitely, influences me. And Daddy will even say that, sometimes he doesn't, when I'm doing a party, he doesn't see where my vision is going. And then when I'm done, he's like, oh, wow, I didn't know that you had all of that in you. And I think I get that from him, especially since he's a little OCD. And I'm a little OCD. So, if you take a look around my truck, you'll see that everything is, in its own place, nice and neat. Yes, and definitely clean. And I think I definitely get that from Daddy. They don't understand that this is basically, a box truck, an empty truck, and Daddy and Huckett measures everything. They install the generator, the freezers, the mix, like they do everything. And myself, I've been there with my dad as he's building them, and see them go from nothing to $100 and something $1,000 vehicle, mobile vehicles. So it's like, even Huckett will kid with me like, oh, you should be able to build one because you're always around us and stuff like that. But it definitely is a process, and I've seen it done my many years growing up. So so this is actually where I start. I didn't know if you wanted me to put my bell on, because it is rather loud. So usually we'll play it when we're driving, and then once we stop, we either have to turn it down really low, or we just turn it off completely, because you don't want anybody to complain about noise or anything like that. So I'm going to turn on the bell now.
Sure, go ahead.
Let's see if we get any customers. Because you get to meet different people, and then sometimes some of the customers become, like friends and family. I actually had a few of my customers at my baby shower.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and stuff like that. So some of them are really cool, and you wouldn't, you kind of trust them. Right. Some of them I wouldn't have at my baby shower, but they still kind of hold it down for me, especially since they know I'm a woman driving the truck. So a lot of the guys, they always look out for me and make sure that I'm good, especially when I have to be on the truck by myself sometimes. Then they really, look out for me. And I was on the truck both times when I was pregnant. The first one, I was on the truck a week before I gave birth. And then the other one, Daddy made me stay home a few months before. But no, they actually look out for me, and I still get those looks like, people have to do a double take about a girl driving a truck, but I guess they get used to it after a while.
So, Chev, I heard a story, and I would like you to confirm that story because I am told that, well, because of ice cream, because of this, you met your husband.
Oh. Yes, my customer turned into my husband. It was
Your
actually,
customer turned into your husband.
yes, and this is why
Tell
I
us,
say
tell us about that.
everything happens for a reason, because it was basically my first summer. I moved back from Florida, and I wasn't even planning on doing anything related to ice cream. But I said, you know what? I'm done teaching. Let me just, hand out supplies down at the depot for a little bit. And then Daddy came to me and was like, oh, you want to drive an ice cream truck? So I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, whatever, I'm not doing anything, because I guess one of his drivers just didn't show up. So I started driving that summer. I think it was summer 2011. And one of my customers, I was like, oh, he's cute. But I was just focused on making money. So, you're going to flirt, you're going to smile and give him a little wink and stuff like that. And next thing you know, we started dating. He actually moved to Texas a few weeks after we started talking. So it was like a long distance thing. So I would go and see him, on my off season during the winter. And then he would come up here, to visit every once in a while. But yeah, we got married and we have 2 kids. That's actually why our son is named Houston, because I met he was in Texas. But he was one of my customers. He had cute toes, and one thing led to another. So, because of ice cream, I have my husband. I have my son Houston and my daughter Leah. So, see, a lot of people run for the ice cream truck, and I never understand it, because I always tell my friends, if my father wasn't in the business, I don't think I would really even go to an ice cream truck. I don't know what the big hype is. So, sometimes at the end of the day, when I'm counting the money, I'm like, wow, I made, this amount of money. And I'm like, people really like ice cream. But you definitely get the customers that run. Some of my customers actually have my phone number. So they'll call me and ask me when are you coming on my block? Or the kids want ice cream. So I do make those kind of special, deliveries for in our neighborhood in Queens, because my dad has a route in Queens, where we live. We are known as the ice cream family, the Mr. Softee, family. So it's definitely a part of our legacy and basically just who we are.
Anytime I come to New York, I always look forward in tasting the very best of Mr. Softee. So, what do you got?
Well, me personally, you can't really ask me what's the best, because I eat everything. And sometimes I mix flavors that might not go together for certain people, but let's see what flavors they have. And look who it is! And this is my sister, the Black Queen.
So, Latoya, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I have been speaking to Chev about the company and what you guys have been doing. Of course, growing up with Mr. Softee. And perhaps you can tell us about your own experience and tell us a bit growing up with Mr. Softee.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. I don't even know where to start. I mean, we have pictures of me and Chev in front of the Mr. Softee before we can even walk. So it's been our lives for 3+ decades now. I remember when we were in elementary school, we kind of were the envy of all of our friends, because at the end of the school year, our dad would come with ice cream truck giving out free ice cream. They were like, oh my goodness, your dad owns a Mr. Softee truck. They loved it. They thought he had the coolest job around. And then when we came of age, this was kind of our first job. And that I felt set us up for kind of how to deal with clients, later on in life, just how to interact with people. A lot of the kids, they come to the truck, they may not have enough money, so how to bargain and negotiate and that kind of thing. So from small we kind of learned some of the life lessons that came along, and we're just very blessed to kind of have this family business.
I know, and I am sure. What advice would you give? I asked Chev that question to other young folks out there your age, what you would have seen firsthand as far as entrepreneurship, as far as going after what they want.
I would have to say the big thing is never give up. You know, our father started off with one truck, almost 4 decades ago,
Wow.
4 decades ago. And it kind of started off as a part-time thing. You know, he was in college, needed a little extra money in the off season, so he started off, you know, kind of driving the truck to supplement his education and pay for it. That turned into more than one truck. That turned into the business that it is today. So, you know, you can never start off too small. So I would have to say, kind of just, you know, never give up, pursue your dreams. Because you never know kind of where.
What's your favorite Mr. Softee?
So my favorite is actually kind of simple. A vanilla cone with rainbow sprinkles, actually.
A vanilla what?
Vanilla cone with rainbow sprinkles.
With rainbow sprinkles. Chef, what can I have? What do you think about that?
Well, are you a vanilla, chocolatey kind of guy, or
Vanilla.
or you can get the mix?
The mix.
So what's my go-to is maybe the twist, dipped in chocolate and half peanuts and half cookie sprinkles.
Let me try that. I don't even know what you just said.
All right.
Let me try that.
One chef special.
Yeah.
Okay, one chef special.
And sometimes Toya actually comes on the truck with me if I have a special event. Like I've been blessed enough to, special events for Chris Rock, Cake Boss. So I actually drive my ice cream truck all the way to Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and go to their houses and serve their families if they're having a party or something like that. And sometimes, me and Toya still butt heads because she's a little messy. Like, look at that. Her cone is all tilted on the top. So, and she forgot to dip it in chocolate first. But it just still tastes good.
All right. So I would have, what is this again?
This is a twist with cookie sprinkles and peanut sprinkles. So, you get a little bit of the salty from the peanuts, the sweet from the cookie, and,
And this is free, but if I had to pay for this, what would I pay?
I actually just raised my prices this year. It would have been $2.50, but it's $3.
$3?
Yeah, which is pretty good because if you go to Manhattan or downtown Brooklyn and stuff like that, they might charge $4 or $5 for that cone.
Out by where I live in Long Island,
yeah,
the cones are about $3.50 now for just a cone sprinkles. So
oh wow!
I know everyone complains that ice cream is a little expensive, but some of the things that go into it, the cost of milk increases, the gas increases, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I actually have to get gas and diesel. A lot of people don't know that. They think it just runs on gas, but you need gas for the actual engine, and then you need diesel for the generator. So, I'll have to get out, and people are like, is she pumping gas? I'm like, yeah, I am a female getting gas and diesel for my ice cream truck. Like, get used to it. I'm here all summer. So, yeah, I actually have to get gas and diesel. So it gets to be pretty expensive. So that's why I decided to, raise my prices a little bit this summer because everything went up. But, if somebody comes to the truck and they only have $1, then I just might make them a little bit of ice cream so they still get, the Mister Softee experience and stuff like that. But
before we go, what finally do you have to say to folks out there regarding the whole company, regarding Mr. Softee, and the summer?
I'll let my sister answer that.
We are hiring, so if you're looking for a job in the New York area, feel free to come on down. It's very rewarding. You make people happy with ice cream. A lot of times, especially in these times right now, there's a lot going on. But something as small as ice cream, can make the difference. So, we're happy to spread a little bit of joy this summer just through something as simple as ice cream. So, feel free to get a Mr. Softee cone. The Mr. Softee legacy name has been around for decades and decades. I think everyone gets excited when they see the first sun out and the first Mr. Softee truck out. That's the signal of summer. So as you can see, there are a lot of them on the road right now. Come get the ice cream, as Mervin can attest to. It's the very best.
This is the very best.
Very tasty.
So ladies, I want to thank you.
No problem.
And I wish Mr. Softee much more success.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
We're at Mr. Softee in East New York, and we'll continue to sell some ice cream. I'll spend the day with Chev.